Are you a fan of 80s horror but want something different? Do you like modern horror but the regular magazines leave you a bit cold? Are you a fan of that schlocky horror that no one else seems to talk about? Check out Necronomicon, the UK horror zine from Etsy.com. Just search for Necroneil. Hi, I'm Lisa, a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft. This is a Psychic Sunday session, so let's see what's in store today. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, indeed, it is a Psychic Sunday session. So let's see what is in store today. So we're going to be doing some tarot readings today. And then you may have seen, because I I've had a week. I have had a week. So because I decided this week to advertise, by the way, can I just point out, yes, I am wearing a Next Generation Era com badge. Very proudly, very, very proudly, because, you know, Star Trek is back. Picard is amazing. Love it, love it, love it. But so just because this week I did advertise the fact we were going to do some crystal work on today's channel, on today's stream, sorry. So we are definitely going to do that. I'm going to do some crystal pulls, but I have spent this week getting inspired in a way that I haven't done for a long time, largely due to one of my closest friends and oldest friends, Neil, who had a conversation with me 100 years ago about creating your own divinationary system. So that basically inspired and made me jump off and go in a whole massive tangent. Bits of conversations that I've had over the last 25 years started to come together in my brain, which is what happens. And I've got a brand new divinationary system that I'm going to bring into play in maybe a couple of weeks' time. I need to properly test it out. But because that is all in the planning process, and because I did say that I was going to work with crystals, we've literally just come up with on the fly, on the pre-live live. So within the last 15 minutes, I've got a bag of crystals now, which are different to the ones I'm going to use in my system. And these crystals have very sort of generic type meanings. And we've got a list of, I think it's 7 crystals with their various correspondences that we are going to use in connection with the tarot tonight, to try and get a little bit of a subconscious nuance, or maybe what's going on behind the surface. So we're actually going to delve a little bit deeper with tonight's readings than perhaps we would do normally. Now, I am very aware that this normally does take quite a bit of time, and crystals are something that I used to do when I was doing live one-on-one readings, and you'd sit down with someone for an hour or so. I would always do a crystal pull at that point as well, because there's certain connotations and certain things that you can get from the energies of the crystals that help with understanding and help with that sort of deeper level of connection. So all of that we're going to be looking at today. I didn't have the full crystal list that I thought I had, because I've used a couple in workings. So it's a little bit spitballs. It's a little bit kind of thrown together, but it's going to work brilliantly because it's with the help of the amazing, my amazing mods and channel members over on the pre-live live. So we've got it's a collective energy in today's crystal pulls. So hopefully with you all watching this as well, it's going to be a really interesting stream. I'm really looking forward to today. I've also got a brand new tarot deck. It's not a brand new tarot deck, sorry. It's a tarot deck that I've had for a little while. It's called the Everyday Enchantment Tarot by an amazing artist called Poppy Palin. This is what the box looks like. This is what the artwork looks like. And I've had this for a little while. Unfortunately, Poppy passed away recently in the last, I think last year. And so it's taken me a while to feel comfortable using this deck because of those connotations. But we're going to use this today. It's a much larger deck. It's an oversized, I mean, I've got big hands, but look at the size of this. It is an oversized deck. So this is going to be used in conjunction with, shall I use the vice versa as well? Yes, I think I'm going to use that one as well. Is it there? No, hang on. Oh, where's my deck gone? Maybe I'm not going to use it with the vice versa. Okay, maybe I'm not going to use it with the vice versa because I've put that somewhere safe and now I can't find it. Hang on, brain. Scanning, scanning. Beep, 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 beep. No, that's just not going to be. Oh, hang on, what's this one? Is it there? Oh, it's there. Look, right on top, right on top. See. When I said I put it in safe place, it really was in a safe place. So we're going to use the vice versa as well, just as a backup deck in case this deck is a little bit unwieldy. So then, yes, strap in, get your seatbelts on. What is it that buckle in, fellas, we're in for a bumpy ride. That was such a bad impression. I'm so sorry, Betty Davis. I'm so sorry, Betty Davis. I'm so sorry, my darling. Yes, all of that. Right. Just gonna be one of those streams today. Although I'm in a really good mood, I'm in a really good place at the moment. So yes, let's have a look. Flower beauty. It's because I was reading first person. Flower person. Hi, flower person. You were the first one here. That was half an hour ago. Wow, you're intent on getting your reading today. Holland is here from Blue Chalice Arts. By the way, Blue Chalice Arts is over on Etsy. Holland is one of the mods here. And so that's why whenever I do a live stream, you'll see two adverts at the beginning of the live streams. One is for Necronomicon zine, which is my friend Neil's horror, 80s inspired horror zine. Love it. Jason Voorhees earrings. Love all of that. So yeah, that horror zine is over on Etsy, and Blue Chalice Arts Holland, just here, from Blue Chalice, makes the most amazing witchy and ritual stuff, whether it's decorative stuff, altar pieces, or actual ritual stuff. So if you want to check those out, do please go and check those out. Neither of them pay me; they just here as friends, and they've very, very amazingly stepped up as mods, which I am amazed by every single day. Every single time I do a live stream, I'm amazed by I've got 4 amazing mods. They are just the most wonderful people in the world. Get emotion. Don't get emotion. We're only 10 minutes in. You can't get emotion yet, at least, right? But anyway, if you want to check out either of those, they come with 100% Beyond Authentic recommendation. Okay, none of it's paid for. I don't get any kickback off anything, but I can totally recommend both of those over on Etsy. Talking about amazing mods, we've got our lovely Ed. Ed says, hello all. So yes, Ed is one of our mods as well. By the way, if the mods ever ask you a question, if they ever ask you to confirm something, confirm your age, or ask you for whatever in the live chat, they are handling all of that so that I can do the reading. So if a mod asks you something, please respond to them with kindness and respect, because if you don't, we'll just boot you off the channel, and then nobody gets, you won't get a reading, and it just gets awkward and you'll get banned. So just please, the mods are doing amazing jobs, which means that I can do the reading. So yeah, if a mod asks you something, just listen to them, please. Liz, hello Liz, I hope you are well. Look at that. See, Ed's kicked off there. If you want a question, start with the word question. Absolutely. Hang on, let me put that on the ticker tape. Ed. There we go. There we go. And yes, so the list is now currently open, so get your questions in. Let me have a look. Patricia's here. Patricia is our 4th mod, and Patricia is amazing. She is the auntie that I never ever had, but I wish I did. Yeah, Patricia is absolutely amazeballs, and this is just the most wonderful. I love this community so much. Right, let me just have a look. Crystal Rose is here. Hello, Crystal Rose. I hope you are well. Latoya Bryant is here. Good evening, Latoya. There's Necro Neil, look, in the chat. Good evening. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. I've got the most wonderful magical deck for you tonight. I do. I'm so excited to use it. It's the first time I'm going to be using it, and I'm going to be doing it live on a live stream. I know, right? What could possibly go wrong? Crystal Rose, I've got your question in. Nanette's here as well. Nanette is a long-time fan and supporter of this channel, and is just the most amazing, lovely person as well. Nanette's got her own channel over on the YouTubes, which is how you're watching this. So yeah, on the YouTubes. She's going to be doing a watch along for Nightmare on Elm Street. I think the first one. I think the first one. Nanette, put it in the comments when you're doing the watch along. And if it's not, if the time delay between the States and the UK isn't too horrendous, then I definitely will try and come, because I love Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's the weirdest, campest, most scary, because I'm old enough to remember when they first came out, and I think it was Nightmare. I remember one being very scary, because I remember the end. I watched it at a friend's house from school, so I would have been about, 13, and I remember having nightmares about the end of Nightmare 1. I know, right? The mannequin at the it scared me. But yes, Liz, I've got your question in. So yeah, Nanette's doing a watch along for Nightmare, so the Nightmare on Elm Street series. So yes, how am I? I'm doing really well, thank you very much, Liz. Ed's asking how's everybody doing. I've got your question in. Enraj, good evening to you. I hope you are well. Crystal Rose, I am well, thank you very much. Enraj, I've got your question in. Flower Beauty, I've got your question in. Thank you, Holland. Yes, Flower Beauty, they come up in the order that people ask the questions. GCW. I will, Flower Beauty, I'll bump you a little bit up. All right, don't worry, I'll sort that out in a second. Yeah, please be aware Lisa reads for the question. She's drawn to, yes, exactly, I do. The order jumps around a little bit. Oh, you love this deck. It is gorgeous, isn't it? It absolutely is. JCW, I've got your question in as well. Thank you, Flower Beauty. Oops, no, I don't want to put you in timeout. I almost put you in timeout then. I forgot that I can do that. Sharon Ann Lopez, good evening, my darling. Good evening. Good evening. Let me just have a look. You can ask questions. Yes, everybody. Right. Fabulous. I've got Ishika Asawa. That is a very good question. Right. Let me just explain. So, I get asked this a lot, and in fact, I'm going to do some FAQs that will be over on the Buy Me a Coffee page, because that I'm updating at the moment. So check that out. But there will be some FAQs over there. Now, most tarot readers who are ethical, genuine tarot readers, okay, we all say the same thing, and it's down here on the disclaimer. In fact, it's about to come up there. Look, it's just there. Look, it says tarot's for entertainment purposes. You should make all your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used for medical, financial, counseling, or legal advice. Okay. Now, the reason we put that in is because I've had people ask, while I'm talking, I'm going to shuffle these cards because, again, it's a brand new deck. So I've had people ask things like, am I going to be pregnant? Can you see this, that, and the other in the future? And the reason we don't give medical advice is very simply, how can I put it? Because I don't want you suing me, right? And I'm not a doctor. So I might see something in the cards. So, okay, a little bit of history with me. How I got into all of this, all of the spiritual element in life, when I was younger, and I'm sure I've talked about it on a podcast, but when I was younger, I used to see auras, right? So I would see fuzzy images and fuzzy shapes and blobs of color and swirling stuff around people, okay? And sometimes I'd look at someone and I'll be like, oh, you've got a problem with your ... It could be their liver, their whatever, whatever body part. And so that brought me into this whole realm. My great-great-grandmother was a spiritualist, was a well-known sort of Victorian medium. There's a bit of a debate whether she was a genuine medium or whether she was a, parlor medium or whatever they called it. My family all believe that she was genuine, except one of my family members doesn't believe in any of this. And so she always used to say that it was all a load of hokum. So who knows? I believe it was real, as did my grandmother, who also had abilities. So that's how I came into this. Now, the reason we don't generally do health questions is because the cards aren't going to tell me. The cards will give some indication if there is difficulty ahead. But if you've got a long-term health problem, right, that can manifest itself and that can change your life. I had cancer last year, right? And I'm not dead, but it completely changed my life. It changed my focus. It changed how I view things. It literally changed me, what I'm physically capable of. And even though, touch word and, you know, blessings and everything and crystals, fingers crossed, the cancer's still not back. It's still gone. Fingers crossed. We'll find out next month. It still affected my life, and it still changed my life in a way that I will never be the same again. So if I was doing a card reading, the death card may have come up for me because it was such a transformational process. Just having the cancer changed my life forever. Okay. I will never be the same person as before. Partly I've had to look at my own mortality and all of that, but also partly it's changed how physically I can do things. It's changed like where my body is. It's changed so much about my life. Now, in a tarot reading, the death card would have come up, that time of transformation, and it would have come up with, you know, maybe swords for obstacles and challenges and all of that. And it could have been a very negative reading. Now, at the time when I was going through the cancer, I may well have read that as being, I'm going to die. I didn't die. Part of me died, right? Now, let go with this. Part of me died last year. And what died was a certain sense of my own immortality. That died. That element of that died. The fact of taking life for granted, that died, right? So when we're asking health questions, say if you're asking, am I going to be pregnant? And we see a growth card comes up, the sun, which generally speaking in tarot means new life, growth. It can often mean new children. But if the sun card comes up, the tarot reader might say, oh, I see children. You're asking, are you going to be pregnant? That card comes up, but what that card could actually mean is adoption, or what it could mean is growth, in that you're not going to be able to carry a child yourself. Therefore, it's going to be this growth period. And that interpretation is so difficult when you're dealing with 78 bits of colored cardboard that it's almost impossible to do. So that's why genuine, ethical, authentic tarot readers should never give medical advice like that. Okay, so that's why we ask about health related questions. You can ask, you know, is your future going to go well? You're going through a difficult time. Is there going to be a way out of this? You can ask things like that are slightly more general. But if you ever ask a question that's directly about, am I going to recover from cancer, in my case, bladder cancer, the answer's like, I can't say that. Because also the cards only see so far in the future. I don't know, in all honesty, as I sit here with you now in April the 10th or 9th or whatever it is today, I can't see it because my watch is telling me that YouTube Sunday session has started. What is it? Hang on. I've now got my steps. Hang on. I've got a fancy watch, so I have to press all these buttons to be able to go back to the time and date. It's the 9th. Right. So as I sit here on the 9th of April, I currently don't have cancer. However, I might have cancer and it might show up again next month when I go in for the next scan. So we don't know. There's no way of knowing right now. And equally, 3 years' time, it might come back and that might be what kills me. Nobody knows. But that's why ethical tarot readers and anybody in this sort of field should never be able to say, yes, here's a health question, doody, blah, 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 there's your answer. Okay, long explanation as to why we don't. But sometimes I feel that just saying that I don't do it doesn't really it doesn't explain why. Queen Bay, hello to you, my darling. I hope you are well. Yeah, thank you for Patricia. I should have just read the next comment. Patricia put it all there in the chat. You've got this deck, it's beautiful, but you've not read with it yet. No, it is a very beautiful deck. I will, Queen Bay, your question is in. Sharon, your question is in. Oh my God, we've got loads. You love Nightmare on Elm Street as well, Crystal Rose, thank you very much. Queen Bay, you love that eyeshadow, matches your outfit. It does. That's why I wore it today. Thank you very much for noticing. I'm very impressed at that. Ishika, I've got your question in. Oh my gosh. We've got a long list today. You adore magical realism, Neil. Do you know what? I was showing the pre-live live, the members over on the other channel, over on the pre-live live, literally. I was showing them another deck that I was looking at using today. It's a very different deck, but it's so busy, so complicated. I thought, no, I'm not going to use that. So Nanette says you're doing a live stream on your channel for the first Nightmare on Elm Street Part 1, the original, not the new one with the crappy what's his name from the other films. No, because he's not. There's only ever going to be one Freddy, and that's Rob. No, well, there might be another Freddy because he's getting a bit old, isn't he? But yeah, anyway, that's that. April 21st, 9 EST, Eastern Standard Time, and which is 2 a.m. in European time. Oh, is that 2 a.m. UK time? Because it's different. Not everywhere in Europe has the same time. But yeah, 2 a.m. Look, listen, whatever it is at 9 EST, right? Work that out in your country of origin and pop over to the Next Necessities Witching Entertainment Hideout channel. Go and have a look over there. Yes, go and have a look over there on the 21st of the Aprils. Sherry Al, yes, you can ask a question, my darling. Right, I'm adding you into the list. Oh my gosh, I've got 10 questions in. Thank you very much. I've got yours in, Sherry. Yep. You had a great grandmother who did some kind of reading. She also got arrested for impersonating a man. You think? Wow, Holland, that's amazing. Oh my god, you need to investigate your family history from your great grandmother. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. Yajni, I've got your question in. Oh my gosh, I've got so many in. I'm going through them. Happy Easter, everyone, says Shivani. Yep, thank you very much, Shivani. If you are, thank you. Patricia's like 10 waiting. Shut up with your story, Lisa. Thank you, my darling. Robert Edmund. It's Robert England, but close enough. Once you've asked your question, please stick around for your reading. Yes, thank you. Shivani, I've got your question in. Right, fabulous. We've got like 13. I've got 12 questions in. We're going to crack on. I'm going to go through them as fast as I can tonight. I do have a little bit of housekeeping though. I'll tell you what, hang on. I'm going to slurp down some coffee. Because of my misophonia, you all know that I don't like doing that on the live, because if anyone else has misophonia as well, it's a little bit, slurpy noises are not good, are they? So I'm going to hit this. Yes, indeed, everybody. So we're going to crack on with some readings. I need to, hang on. I need... You know, you just saw me at the beginning of this stream, right? Put my chair down. There we go. Oh, now look, I'm too high in the thing. Right, hang on. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. I am getting my new chair very, very, very soon. Rufus is picking it up this week, so that'll help. Right, a little housekeeping. You may have noticed, everybody, there has been a little bit of a shift. And it's this banner up here. So now I've moved everything across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. Okay, so if you want to QJump, you can QJump on there. There is a little button. It's very obvious on the front page. If not, if you click shop, it gives you all of the options for the readings as well. But the QJump is there, the channel memberships is there, and private bookings, private readings is now there as well. So if you want a tarot reading, if you want a full live one-on-one reading, you can book that on there. It starts at £40 in the UK, which is quite cheap compared to what they used to be. But there are discounts on there for channel members across the board. I've just seen that I've got an error on that screen, so I do need to change that. And then if you click the little arrow at the top, it goes through a 10 card, 6 card and 3 card reading you can book. There's also full details there about the channel memberships, about QJumping. If you are a channel member and you want to QJump, there is a discount there that is offered for channel members. So all of that now is all done done in the same place. Rather than going on to Fiverr or anywhere else, it's all now being done over at buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic. Makes life a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for the mods to put the details in the chat, and it stops me having to flick between different things up on the screen. So if you want any bookings outside of these live streams, if you want any bookings at all, go up to there, or it's down there, but that's going to disappear in a minute when I get the readings up. So the details are all on here, okay? As it says there, look, I'm on Buy Me a Coffee. That is now going to be the central place for everything on here. I've even put pictures of our stick insects up there and all sorts. So that is going to be the main hub moving forward, okay? Just makes life a lot simpler for everybody involved. So if you want a private reading, if you want a full hour-long reading, a 10-card reading, things like that, go and check it out over there. Click on the little button that says shop. Eventually, when I start putting the smudge sprays available, I think I'm going to be able to do all of that over there. So check that out. It should be now the hub, the central point for everything on this channel and on our second channel, or our other channel for dealing with health. So if you want any information at all, go and check that out over there. That is where it's all going to be now. Makes life a lot simpler all round. Right then, we're going to start with some tarot reading now then, everybody. We are going to start. So let me just go all the way through. So one thing you need to be aware of, everybody, if you do leave the video and come back, then basically it means that you Pooja Gupta, I've got your question in as well. If you do leave the video and then come back, it does mean hang on, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. If you leave the video, right, and we call your name, you get this. After the first call, we're going to ask you to come and say hello in the live chat, right? If you don't do that within a few seconds, you'll get put into a red alert. This is when we've called you twice. That's when this happens. When we get to red alert status, it means that you literally have 20-second countdown to come and say hello in the live chat. After that 20 seconds, if you aren't here, right? If you don't come and say hello after 20 seconds, your reading is deleted and you end up getting one of these. And then you're off the list for tonight, okay? Even if you come back afterwards, your reading is deleted. So if you've got a question in, please do stick around. I will try and get through them as fast as I can. The list is just who is in, okay? That's not the order of it. That is the list that is in. So that means if your name is on that list, you're there. I will try and get to people as fast as I can. I do the readings in generally as quick as I possibly can, especially tonight. I'm going to go through them as fast as I can because I realize we've got so many in, but also it won't necessarily be that order, okay? Because some people I'm drawn to, some readings I'm drawn to more than others. Sometimes the dragons, the elemental energies that I use, I'll see a name and I'll be like, oh, that's going to be the next person, because that's just how this works. It's very intuitive. That doesn't mean I'm purposely missing anybody out. It doesn't mean I'm purposely ignoring anybody. I'm literally just going to the people that there is something about the name that is literally like bonk jumping out at me, okay? If I don't get to you today, then please do hang around till the end of the stream just to make sure that we don't, because sometimes we do a fast, like a quick session at the end. But also, I do have to say that if I don't get to you, then please don't take it personally. I will try and get to you on the next stream. We are streaming every Sunday, every Tuesday here live. I might be adding in ad hoc streams as well, just randomly at different days. So do please stick around. Make sure that you've hit that subscribe button and dinged your bell. That's really important so that YouTube notifies you of when I go live. Right then, everybody, is everybody ready? Are the mods ready? Is everybody settled? We are half an hour in. Are you ready to roll? The first tarot reading tonight is going to be for... It's going to be for... Let me just have a quick scroll. I've got a whole list here. We are going to... I just literally I stopped and my brain went blue chalice. No, that's Holland's giving me the list. Right, here we go. we're going to go with, I'm going to go with Liz. Liz, you're the first cab off the rank. Come and say hello in the live stream. Don't forget, everybody, if you are here for the first time, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counseling advice. If you are looking for support in those areas, please do check out professional support in those areas. I will get to you when I can, and I will get to you as fast as I can. Each reading normally takes, hopefully tonight, about 8 to 10 minutes. Mods, can you double check me if I go way over? Just like nudge me. Also, I have to point out that you are live on the interwebs, which means when I do my readings, I can get quite personal, can get quite deep. If you've been having an affair with your boss, if you've been stealing from work, if you've been doing things that you don't want the internet to know, please do go over to beyondauthentic.com/, buymeacoffee.com. Sorry, I'm so used to saying this with Fiverr. Go to buymeacoffee.com/beyondauthentic, just up there, where you can book a private reading. A 3-card reading starts at a tenner. You don't have to worry about having this all out on the interwebs. Now, you might think to yourself, it's fine if it's on the internet because no one's going to see it. However, this wonderful internet of ours is forever. Once I've done this stream, I could take it down tomorrow, I could delete it, but the Wayback Machine and other bots and spamming things, they record everything that happens on the web, cookies and all of that lot. So if you don't ever want any possibility of somebody finding out that on the 9th of April 2023 that you got a tarot reading from me and it said XYZ, then go and book it privately. It makes life a lot simpler. Okie dokie. All of that being said, it is time. So dragons, if you don't know what I'm talking about, on this channel, I use elemental energies. It connects me with the Akashic records, which is how I believe that tarot works. So I believe very firmly that tarot is a connection to the Akashic records where every element of our lives, everything that can, will, and has happened is all recorded, and somehow some of us using some colored bits of card are able to access that information. I use the elemental energies, I call them my dragons, and we're going to call the dragons now. So I use a sound vibration as a cleanser. So dragons, good evening, and hello, welcome to tonight's stream, dragons. We're going to be using some crystals, we're going to be using the cards, and we're going to get cracking with the knacking. Now, the first person, as I said, is Liz. So hopefully Liz is there. Liz is there. Liz likes Wispy. Wispy is one of our dragons, and Wispy is the air dragon. There we go. So then, everybody, we're going to crack on. Oh, Wolf Boyo's here. Good evening, Wolf Boyo. I've just seen people saying hello to you in the chat. Sorry, I was 100 miles away doing all the other bits. So then, Liz, you're... 1 second, sorry, there we go. Your reading, Liz, starts straight after this, and Liz, this is your timestamp.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
And now I've lost my pen. I've lost my pen. I literally had it here. What? How is that even possible? It was on my desk. It was literally right. House sprites, give me back my bloody pen. You're not funny. I've got my pad. Where's my pen gone, sprites? This is the Fae. This is because I'm using this deck. The Fae are here. Studying bloody Fae. Right. I have to use it. I'll use this. Right. I've got a different one. Wow, that's a good start, isn't it, everyone? Right. 35 minutes in. Liz. Here we go, Liz. I will pop that on there with the pen. Right. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's do that again.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
Good evening to Liz. Good evening, dragons. Here we go. We have our first reading of tonight. Liz is wanting to know, she needs guidance. Is Liz on the right path? let's have a look. So then, dragons. Whoa! We had a card flip. This is the 8 of blades, the 8 of swords. Right. As always, when that happens, that is going to be your modifying card, Liz. So swords is all about, or blades is all about obstacles. And as you can see here, this person has a hell of a lot going on in their life right now. So I think that this is quite emblematic of what's going on for you. It says, are you on the right path? I think quite possibly it's a bit of a learning path. Does that make sense? It's going to be a path that is trying you right now. So whatever's happening, we'll pop this card just to one side. Whatever is going on, hang on, let me just bring this one up because these cards are so large. They're not going to fit on the desk otherwise. I think whatever's going on in your life right now, it feels like there's a hell of a lot happening. And it feels like you've got a lot of noise, interference, can't get a clear space, all going on at the same time. Does that make sense? It feels very busy right now in your life. So we're going to do your cut. Okie dokie. Let me have a look. Hang on. So here is the look at the back of this deck, by the way. Stunning. So we're going to do your cut. Even on the sides, look, with the colors. There we go. That's your drop. And so this is such a large deck, though. Right, here we go. We've got, no, the Chariot, the 7 of coins or pentacles, and the 5 of coins or pentacles. Wow. So you can see, look, even though this is a new deck, right? Hang on, if I, can we come a little bit nearer? There we go. Is that clear on screen? Hopefully that's clear on screen. Even though this is a new deck, you can see some of the cards have been turned upside down. So even those are almost sequential numbers, you can see that this has been done like this. Absolutely amazing. So here we go. We've got the Chariot coming up in the past. So it feels like you've gone on a massive journey recently. You've gone on a big change. Your life has taken quite a large shift. Does that make sense? So there's been quite a big change happening. And this change is, how can I put it? I think this change has been eventful, to say the least, especially with this 8 coming up. It feels very much like this was a journey that you chose, right? So whatever's happening, this path is something that you have decided on. You've decided to do this. This isn't like, you know, I don't know, you were just milling around one day and fell over and broke your leg and then that's a new path. It's not that. It's not like you were at work and you got sacked. This is something that you've decided on. And yes, it's got risks, but also it's got a lot of energy about it. It's got there's a lot of change, a lot of really good stuff that you are putting out into the universe with this change, if that makes sense. But it is bloody busy right now. You've got this coming in. It is really like this change is leading to a lot of upheaval, a lot of shifts, and quite a large learning curve, it feels. In the present, we've got the 7 of coins. So when we turn it this way around, coins is also known as pentacles or discs. You can see, look at this. This is somebody who is working their arse off. They've spent all of this time. Now, this represents somebody at a market store, right? Now, those of you in the chat, Holland, Neil, anybody else who's ever run stores and events, you will know, right? If you go to a market store, right, and you are this person, right? You stand there with all of your handmade goods. This is a hard day at work, but this is nothing compared to the amount of work that it takes to make all of this, right? So the 7 of coins here is talking about putting in so much effort. Basically, this is the epitome of the swan on the surface with the little feet underneath going like paddling away, and then the swan just very serenely gliding along like this, right? This is the epitome of that. And it feels at the moment like, I think you're questioning, is this worth it, right? I'm doing all of this work, all of this effort is coming in for this one moment. Bloody hell, I am knackered. Is this worth it? It feels like going on. There's so much work, so much, it's taking so much of your brain power that I literally think you're questioning, like, Jesus Christ, really? Have I done the right thing? What the hell is going on? Is this is taking so much work. I'm getting so little out of it right now. What the heck is going on? But we then come to the future. And we've got the 5 of coins. Now, this is talking about change. I mean, literally like coppers. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I don't mean that. But the 5s are really talking for me. They're talking about a change in circumstances. And the fact that we go from a massive change in journey, an upside down 7, which is talking about a lot of work, and the 8 coming in with there being a lot of pressure, a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges right now. It feels like there's a lot of pressure on your time. We then go to an upright 5 of coins, which is telling me that, yes, I think this is going to pay off. It's not going to pay off big time. So in the next 6 weeks, couple of months, you're not going to hit the mega bucks, right? This isn't going to be the, oh my God, I've won the equivalent of the lottery. I'm now a million billionaire. It isn't going to be that. But it really does feel like your luck, your finances, your work output is going to start matching your input. Does that make sense, Liz? So it feels very much like you are going to get what you're owed in a positive way, not in a negative way, in a really positive way. Now, the thing I would say overall with this card coming up as your clarifying card, the modifier, I think it's still gonna be a little bit overwhelming, right? But what this is saying to me is just hang on in there. Hang on in there. You're asking, are you on the right path? Yes, you are, right? This change, going from this decision to things being overwhelming as hell right now, really, really struggling, to this, even though this isn't like the 10, this isn't the 9, this isn't like you're going to be mega, mega wealthy, but this is the start of the change, and it's starting this spring. So anytime now in the next couple of months, this is going to change. Your fortune literally is going to turn around. Right, I'm going to pull in the little enchanted bag. I'm going to pull you a coin, right? So all I'm doing is I'm going to put all of the coins at the back apart from one. There we go. Protection. So obsidian. So we've got protection. So this is talking about protecting your energy. Right. Let me just swip to the other camera. Here we go. So then, Liz, this is talking about protecting your energy. Okay. We've got obsidian. So I think that whatever's going on for you right now, it's taking a lot of your essence. It's taking a lot of you out of things, right? So this is equivalent of saying self-love. You need to protect your own energy, your own boundaries, and you need to make sure that whatever you're doing work-wise, putting that back in and saying thank you, whatever you're doing work-wise, make sure that you've still got time for you, that you've still got some space, because otherwise you can be working yourself absolutely your fingers to the bone, and you're not going to, when the circumstances change and we get to the 5, you're not going to feel it. Okay, so you need to protect your own space, protect that work-life balance a little bit, but also make sure that the things you're putting out into the universe are actually right. Okay, so if there's a feeling about this path being a little bit icky, if it's drawing you into something where you don't want to go, draw that line, put that boundary in place, protect yourself, and make that change. Okay, hopefully that helps, my darling. But that is going to be your reading for today, your tarot and crystal pull, Psychic Sunday. So yes, right, let me jump over to the live chat. Let me have a little look see. Yes, please, Holland, if you can pause for a second. Thank you very much. I am going through them all as fast as I can. Liz, so beautiful. Oh, thank you, my darling. I know I am, right? No, I'm joking. You don't know whether you're thinking straight or not. You are going through a lot. Yeah, that 8 coming in on top of the 7, it feels like you're going to be a bit overwhelmed right now. It feels like there's going to be so much happening. You've cut a lot of people too. Yeah, absolutely. You've got so much happening right now all at once that it feels like you're working your ass off. You're running at full power to kind of stay still, which is going to be how it feels, right? But you are actually making, you are actually moving forward. That 7, although that 7 was reversed, it's still a positive card. There is still some movement here, and there is still some investment in you. So hopefully, my darling, that makes some sense. By the way, to everybody saying that you love this deck, if you are a tarot reader, a tarot collector, or if you are just somebody who is interested in this sort of field, please go and check out Poppy Palin. As I say, she did pass away last year, I think it was. But her books are out there, her tarot decks are out there. Let's remember how amazing this person was, and yeah, share her legacy. Anyway, thank you very much, Liz. I hope that helps. I enjoyed that. That was fun. I enjoy the crystals coming in. I haven't worked with crystals like this for a long time. This is how I used to do tarot readings way back when, except I had a different list of crystals. But anyway, right, there we go. Thank you so much, everybody. We're going to move forward. Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. Patricia Helps. Feeling trapped, but you've got this. You've absolutely got this, my darling. Absolutely. Right then, let's have a look. Who is going to be next up? I'm going to go to Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose, my darling, come and say hello in the live stream. After Crystal Rose, we're going to go to Flower Beauty. So Crystal Rose and Flower Beauty, please come and say hello in that they're live. Exactly. Don't forget, everybody, if you haven't already, please do hit your bell. I know, right? Hit your bell and change your notifications to all. That way YouTube should notify you whenever I upload a video, right? But the only way you're going to get known, the only way you're going to get told is if you hit that bell. Indeed. Right then, everybody, let's have a look. Do we have Crystal Rose or Flower Beauty in the chat? Right, you're both there. Fantastic. Crystal Rose, you're next. Flower Beauty, you're up after Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose, your timestamp, let me just get onto your question. There we go. Your timestamp starts right here. Oh, sorry, I just realized everything that I was just doing was muted. I'm so sorry. I'll give you the ring again. There we are. Dragons. Crystal Rose wants to know, how does M feel about me? Will he ask me out on a date? So I was just saying then, Crystal Rose, we haven't had the Beyond Authentic Witchcraft wedding yet. Me and Patricia are waiting for the excuse to buy hats, okay? Ed and Neil are there waiting with suits. Holland wants to come along and just to enjoy the buffet. We're all waiting to come along to the first Beyond Authentic Witchcraft wedding, right? We are waiting. We are absolutely sat here with bated breath, waiting to come along. I want to get down with the what would be I don't even know what the equivalent of wedding songs, you know, those cheesy wedding songs that the DJs play. I don't even know what that would be these days. It used to be, back in my day, it was Time Warp, but I've got no idea what that would be. But the mods, we're all ready. We're eager to come to the first ever Beyond Authentic Witchcraft wedding, where you've met because of one of the readings or you've taken the advice because of one of the readings. We haven't got there yet, but we've got a card that flew all the way over the other side of the room. Oh, the Ace of Blades, Ace of Swords coming up as a modifier. Again, lots of challenge. Lots of challenges involved. Right, let's have a look, Crystal Rose. So I'm going to do your time drop right now. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. I love the fact that this rainbow here, look, this little rainbow, you can just see, look here. It's all the way down the cards. Isn't it beautiful? Love it, love it, love it. Right, here we go. They're not wanting to drop. Oh, hang on. Look, they can't make up their mind. Oh, that card's gone. Right, that card. They weren't sure about that card. Interesting. It's the law to have the Time Warp and Agadu. Right, okie dokie. That's very true. So we've got the King of Blades. Ah, that's why. Right, hang on. That card. There we go. So it'll be the Queen of Blades. And then the Star. And then the Sun. Oh, hang on. This is a shuffling issue. Right. No. Right. Okay, I'll tell you what. It's not, because look, one's reversed and one's not. So it's not a shuffling issue. Right. Have faith, Lisa. Have faith in your own. Right, everybody. If you've asked a question, it's in the list. The list is not in the order. That is just a list of people whose names are in, right? It's not the order that I'm doing the readings. The readings are done just at random. So you need to hang on in there. And I will call you. I think, Enraj, you may well be up next. I did see your name on the list, so I will try and get to people as fast as I can. Right. So, Crystal Rose, your modifying card. Does M feel about you? How does M feel about you? So the Ace of Blades, we've got a card here which is talking about so it's about a challenge, right? Because Blades Swords is all about challenges, but this feels like this challenge is going to go through. It's how can I put it? It feels like overall at the moment that you are healing, right? That's what this feels like. It feels like you've still got some residual damage. God, these are intense cards, aren't they? Fuck me. Right, you've got some. Let me just say it as I'm going to say it. Right, you've still got some shit to work out from a previous relationship, right? You've still got some. You've got some cancer, right? And I don't mean that in the way that I had cancer. I mean, like, there is some negativity that is lodged somewhere. And a bit like when they have to cut the cancer out, right? You've got to get rid of that lump of it before it can carry on growing. And there is something here from a previous relationship that basically has left you a little bit. It's like the little roots. You know what I mean? It's like the little seeds are still there that you haven't dealt with. Now, once you get rid of that, once you cut that negativity out, it won't come back, right? But this is what you still need to do. This is still something that you need to work on in terms of relationships. So this is what's going on under the surface, right? This little sprite here, this little energy is really saying, look, I don't know whether you can see, it's really saying like everything's going to be fine. This is going to go well, right? You just need to exercise. You need to surgically remove this little part that is still there, this little niggly bit. Once that's gone, it's gone, right? And yes, it might leave a tiny bit of scar tissue, but once it's gone, it can't keep growing. And the problem is, I think, and you know exactly what this relationship was, Crystal Rose, but you know, since this relationship that this is talking about, it's grown back, and then you've got rid of it, and then that feeling's grown back, and you can't keep doing that cycle. That's what this card is saying. It's time to excise that, chop it out, get rid of it, chuck it away once and for all, right? That's what the cards are saying. So in the past, we've got the Queen of Blades. So again, we've got this very authoritative, very knowing type energy that's coming through, right? Again, it's talking about excising this obstruction. It's about kind of, how can I put it? This is about, this is you saying, this is me saying to you, this is what you need to do, right? This is you saying, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly the little part of you. If you were to map your heart, your soul, your spirit, and draw it out on a big map on a piece of paper, this would be that little black nugget, right? I always sometimes, Jesus. I always say when I refer to it that I've got a little imp in the back of my head, right? That little imp is my eating disorder. And as many times as I want, I can lock it away. I have never, ever been able to cut it out for good, right? And because of that eating disorder, every few days, weeks, months, whatever, years, will come back because I've never been able to get rid of it altogether. And that's what this is talking about, right? This is talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If this picture here, if this was you as a whole, you would be able to pinpoint this. This is you knowing it. You know yourself, right? You have got quite a lot of nurturing instincts. You've got quite a lot of self-knowledge, self-awareness when it comes to your relationships, right? You know what went wrong. You know what happened. You know exactly what this is referring to. You just need to be able to get rid of it. You've spotted it. So you've done half the work. You just need to get rid. In the present position, we've got the star reverse. Now, again, the star in this case is about helping hands. It's about other people coming in. It's about the other elements of you coming in and helping. It's about you, excuse me, being able to reach out. And also, so you're reaching out on one aspect, but also you're reaching out, you know, with help. You need to be able to have these hands touch. You need to be able to actually put this offer of help together. The star, quite often I talk about wishing on a star and wishing and goals. This is about that wish. This is about wishing and wanting help and being able to reach out and finally get it. But it's reverse, which is saying, as much as I'm talking about this and you recognize that I'm 100% right on this, you know I'm right, you know that this is what you need to do, but there is something here blocking it. You're reaching out for this help, but you're not able to fight at the moment. You're not able to make these hands meet, right? So whatever this relationship is with them, whatever this like beginning is, there's still something here for you to unpick. This card, this reading, fuck me, these cards are intense. Dragons, take it off. This reading is the moment where you are now going, right, I need to make this happen. You know it. Now you're being told it, not just by me, but by the dragons, by the cards, by the elements, right? You know that this needs to happen. Once this happens, once you reach out, you chop this bit out once and for all, then this becomes this, which is the Sun, which is a wonderful card. And this is going to be amazing. Will he ask you out on a date? I don't know if M's going to ask you out on a date, but my God, is your romantic future going to be improved once you get rid of this baggage, right? I know this question isn't, this is where we've gone super intense, and I can feel your emotions right now, my darling. My God, does it feel like, if you're not welling up, it feels like this is hitting on every single front, because I'm feeling it myself. But this is where you are headed to, right? We've got this butterfly emerging. We've got this gorgeous person here in this gorgeous like golden elements. Is this a Hindu woman? Is this a sari? Is this golden energy from the sun? Who knows? It is just this really amazing, warm, glowing, vibrant energy that is coming in your future. Okay, but the only way to get to this is to excise this, right? This is positive relationships. This isn't the lovers. So it might not be that M is going to be the one that you spend like the next 40 years with. This isn't necessarily about that, but this is about your future being warmer and more encouraging and allowing you to move forward beyond where you are trapped right now. Okay. Beyond where this history is. This is about you moving forward into a really positive life. Right, I'm going to put those to one side. We're going to do the same with your crystals. I'm just going to hold the bag there. Right, I'm just going to let one, oops, the first one that fell, the first one that fell was the rose quartz. So this is all about love and positive energy and all of that. This is all about that. So yes, it feels absolutely, the cards, even the crystals are saying the same thing. You need to heal your heart, my darling. Once you've healed your heart, everything else will come forward. So whether it's M or whether it's, you know, PQRYZ, whoever it is, it doesn't actually matter, because you need to do this work on yourself first. Once you've done that, my God, is your future energy going to be super positive and super light. There you are, my darling. I hope that helps. I really, really do. Thank you very much for your question. And yeah, that is your reading for today. I am loving this deck. I am getting so much from this deck. Wow, Jesus. That's your Nan's butterfly. She comes to you from spirit as an orange butterfly. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. That is properly amazing then. Ed's asking the most important question there. Look, have we all remembered to hit the thumbs up button? If you haven't, could we do it now? I can't see what the numbers are, but we've got 15 people live right now. Can you please instigate a like spike? Can you please hit that wonderful button, that thumbs up button, and let's have a glorious like spike. Till I'm victorious, and I will defend. Yes, we want a glorious like spike, please, everybody. Hit that wonderful thumbsy uppy button. It helps YouTube's algorithm and it helps spread the channel. It really, really, really does. Liz, I hope that helped, my darling. Not Liz, sorry, Crystal Rose. I really do. Ah, amazing. Thank you very much. I've got 16 likes. Woohoo! I will give in till I'm victorious. Just for that, I think it is time. We haven't had one of these. Shall we have a quick little energy rising jig? Are you ready for a jig? Are you ready? What you do, right? Everybody watching this, this is now what you have to do right now, right? What I want you to do is I want you to have your hands in this position. We are going to go from hands up to the right. We're going to go hands up to the left, and we're going to click our fingers. And then we're going to go back the other way and click our fingers. And while we do that, your head has to do this. The rest of the body stay still, the hands and the head, right? That's the move. Move the microphone out of the way. Are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. A little bit more. Let's do the Colton. One more time. Let's get that energy up, everybody, on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. I'm exhausted now. This deck is intense, isn't it? This deck is fucking intense. Right. Who's next? We've got, who did I say was next? Who was next? Flower Beauty, you are next. Enraj, you are up after Flower Beauty. So that one I've just done. Flower Beauty, if you're here, come and say hello in the live stream. I know that you were. I'm going to go ahead and hit the magic tarot magic button for the timestamp. Flower Beauty is here. Enraj is ready next. Okie dokie, let's hit that magic button. Your timestamp start. No, that's not the right one, Lisa. Well done. Your timestamp starts right. Your timestamp is right here. Yes, indeed. Flower Beauty, thank you very much. So then, Flower Beauty, let's see. Oh, no. Are we still live? We're still live. Oh, I had a bit of an error message pop up then. Right then. So, Flower Beauty, will the job that's coming my way be better for me than my current one financially and emotionally? And should I take it and move cities for my highest good? Need an overall guidance reading. Okie dokie. That's a very intense reading, but we'll try and do that for you. Dragons. Good evening, dragons. Flower Beauty would like to know, will the job that's coming her way be better for her, for you? Sorry, I'm assuming your gender. Will the job that's coming Flower Beauty's way be better for them than the current one, both financially and emotionally? And should they take it and move cities? That's what we want to know, dragons. Oh, this deck is doing that thing where once you've used a new deck for a little while, it starts to feel malleable. It starts to feel the energy is amazing. Wow, this deck is intense. Oh, this deck is way intense. This is, whoa, that's like dragons. That's like 5 cards, please. Wispy, you should know better than this. 1 card flips, so that's a 1 card, not, yeah, like that. No, that's 3. Hang on. Let's put all of these in their order. Right. Wispy, one is a flip. More than 1 is an accident of shuffling. Right. If there's not going to be a card, we're going 1 more round, Flower Beauty. 1 more round. Let's have a look. Here we go, everybody. Here we go. Oh, they are quite large, these cards. I can understand why people do cut them down, because even my giant hands are struggling a little bit. Right, 1 more round, I said, didn't I? 1 more. This is the last one, dragons. If you're going to make it flip, this is your last chance. Not 3. Jesus, Wispy. If you want to, if you'll tell you what, next time, Wispy, this is your last single round, right? Your last single shuffle, and then we're pulling them. So if you want 3 to go, drop all 3, and that'll be the reading. But I'm not messing around, right? We're not doing this, Wispy. There's too many people waiting for readings. So thank you. Oh, Materialism. We've got the devil. We got the devil. Now, this doesn't mean the devil, right? Flower Beauty. Before we go any further, this is the intense time. This does not mean the devil, right? There is no devil in the tarot. This is not the devil, as in like evil, spiky, horny person with a red tail. This is not that, right? The devil doesn't exist in paganism. It doesn't exist like in most pagan practices, as in like the opposite to the Christian God, all of that stuff. This isn't about that. This is just the guy who, or the original people that started the deck, called it the devil because they didn't understand that materialism was actually a better word. But this is about putting the physical over the spiritual, right? This is about chasing money, chasing all of those things, right? So let me show you the card. So this is not saying in any way, shape or form that the devil is going to appear or that you are satanic or anything like that, because we don't believe in that, A, on this channel, and B, in those terms that the tarot deck uses, right? It isn't that. So let me flip back. So what the devil represents here, look, is the driving force into paths that might not be good for you. Okay, this is the little, on your shoulder where you got your two angels. You've got the one that's saying about, oh, just eat vegan and, don't eat any sugars. And you've got the other one going, yes, but it's so nice. This is about you getting pulled into things and getting offered things that maybe aren't the best for your path, right? Does that make sense? So we're talking about here, when you're talking about, is there a job that's going to be better financially? This is really interesting because look, this path leads to money, and it's almost about greed, right? Now, interestingly, that you say, is it going to be better for you emotionally and financially? And I think this is where this card comes in, because I think there is a very big difference between financial and emotional. This card is saying to me that this is all the physical benefits, right? This is what I think is making you head that way. And if I've got to be brutally honest with you, Flower Beauty, I think that if you were 100% honest with yourself, right? If I said to you that emotionally, I know, right? I'm just grabbing my coffee. If I said to you that emotionally, this job wouldn't be great for you, but it would pay you a lot more money and give you some more financial stability, and give you money to play around with, would you still take it? Would you still take it if you knew that having that extra money would perhaps bring the vices that you've worked hard to beat, and would bring dangers and things that you are drawn to that you've already kind of conquered in life? Would it bring back some of those things and take you on a path that could lead down into more dangerous ways, but financially would be very good for you? Would you still take it? Because that's what this card is all about, right? It's that deal. It's that as they say, the deal with the devil. It's about saying, oh, financially you're going to be a lot better off, but is that going to be an emotional betterment? Because it's going to give you temptations, and those temptations are going to be a lot more difficult to deal with when you've got more money to throw around. So that is overall, that is a really, really intense, fuck me, this is an intense reading tonight. If anyone's wanting just a really light and fluffy tarot reading, I think you're on the wrong channel today. My God, right. Sorry, everyone. I needed to slurp me coffee then. So that is we've got the devil. That's just your blooming, that's just your clarifying card. But it is bringing up that big question, isn't it? What was going to be more important to you, the financial betterment or emotional well-being? Financial well-being or emotional well-being? Let me have a look. Right, where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, come on, cards. Why won't you drop? They don't want to drop tonight. Oh, there we go. Right there, right in the center. They're not sure. These cards are not sure. I think this is your answer. In all honesty, the way that that's popped up, I think this is the answer. Right, the Emperor. Oh, God, the Hierophant and the Chariot again. Are these... Right, okay, the next ones are not major cards. No, the next ones are not major cards. Wow, right. Okay. Talk about intensity. I was not ready for this tonight. All 4 cards that have come up for you are major arcana cards, right? This is intense. This is insane. Out of 78 cards in the tarot deck, 22 are major cards. You've got 4 of them in a 4-card reading. This is important. Right, so past, we've got the Emperor. So the Emperor, when it comes down to questions about job and money and things like that, the Emperor is an authority figure who is in overall say of everything, right? The Emperor is the one that is in charge. The Emperor is the one, the buck stops. You can see the entire kingdom is out the window here in the background. Both animals, the people, everything. There is a family connection here reminding you that the Emperor's choices are not just in the business world, political world, but also they affect real people. But also look at what's on this desk. We've got all of these elements of control, all of these elements of work. We've also got here, look, we've got a blade. We've got, could this be a pentacle? Could this be a wand? Could this be a chalice? We've got almost magician energy here in the background. We've got our hidden sprite there, look, with our elemental energies. But this is about taking control, big time control over your work. And I think that this is what's come up recently. Now, in the present position, the Hierophant, this is talking about a leadership role, possibly more of a spiritual leadership role, or possibly more of a mentor type figure. We've got this person who looks like a teacher. They're teaching like religious studies, but look, they have a spiritual element in their fingers. They are casting as they're talking. So this isn't like the J.K. Rowling bullshit. This is much more of a realistic sort of depiction of what magic would be like. Somebody who is teaching, you know, comparative religions or something, and who has a lot of knowledge to impart, but is also actually taking part in manifesting at the same time. You've got an energy here, so this is where the animal kingdom is represented, and you've got these people watching on. So this again, the Hierophant is talking about imparting knowledge, but very institutional. This is a school setting, okay? So when we're talking right now, this job right now, this decision that you have to make about your job is really important, because I think there is almost like a head and a heart element going on here with the devil coming up about be careful, because it's possible that your wildest desires are going to get offered. Your more basic desires, they're more carnal. You know what I mean? So the drugs, the alcohol, the sexy times, all of that is potentially coming up, is being offered with this card at the moment. So there's a big risk factor involved. But then we've got in the future card, we've got the bloody Chariot reversed. So this is talking about movement and change, but this is reversed. So it's saying that this movement may not be right for you. That actually, depending on your history, Flower Beauty, I know for me, right, I have to really be really careful. If I'm around a situation where I've got access to all sorts of sugary, high fat, high sugar food, my eating disorder can kick straight in, and without even knowing it, I am going off and back into that pattern. So for me, I need to be very, very mindful if I'm in those situations. And again, so for me, that's my warning. For you, this devil warning is saying the same sort of thing, right? If it was me, this would be coming up talking about my eating disorder. For you, it's talking about something slightly different. So for you, it's talking about hope you're okay, Neil. I've just seen the message, but yeah. So for you, this Chariot may not work. Okay, this move may not be the right move for you. It absolutely might not be, and because of that, I would say, when you're talking about moving cities for your highest good, I don't think it will. In all honesty, Flower Beauty, yes, you can move cities, but I think the temptation is going to come in the other cities. I think that is, it's almost like moving from, I don't know, what is it they say in the States? Is it oh, butt fuck nowhere, bum fuck nowhere, something like that. Butt crack nowhere, moving to New York, but not New York as it is now, like New York in the 80s. And it's like, that's what this is representing. Right, let me pull you a crystal. We want one crystal. Hang on. that was multiple crystals coming out. Right, we want one crystal to come. The first crystal that's going to pop out. I need a better way of pulling these, because it's still the rose quartz. Right, that's come out twice now. So this is saying go with your heart. Your heart is telling you this isn't right for you. Your heart is absolutely telling you this is not right. Absolutely, it's not right. It's not right. So there you go. That is your answer, my darling. It isn't right. It's not talking about addictions, my darling. It's not talking about addictions. It's talking about there being temptation. So whatever the temptation is for you, if you have never experienced things of a carnal nature in this way, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about changing a path that is going to be so different that you are going to go down a completely different route. Okay, a very, very different route. It's going to be how can I put it? It's going to be a very difficult time, put it that way. A very difficult time. When we're talking about career, I would say, like, how can I put it? This career move, right? Here we go. I tell you what. Let me swap to this. Right. Listen. The mods are like, oh shit, she's going to talk. She's talking serious. Here we go. 4 major cards coming up like this, right? With the overriding one being the devil. You make all your own decisions about your own life, right? But if you make this choice and make this move, you're going to be putting yourself in danger's way. You're going to be putting yourself in a situation where there is a lot for you to deal with, right? And those temptations are going to be temptations that you will struggle with. You might not have addictions now, but this is where that warning is coming in. It's like, oh, be careful. It feels like there is a choice at the moment for you to make, right? One of these choices is that Hierophant card, staying on a slightly more spiritual but institutionalized element. So staying where things are a little bit safer, a little bit more how can I put it? A little bit more structured. Moving on with that Chariot card, you've got like free fall. The difference is from when you study at school, right? And you've got, this is what we are learning today, class. We are learning XYZ. We are going to learn about World War II, right? So we're going to learn about the events that led up to World War II. So all the events from the end of World War I all the way up through the 30s and everything that was happening in a geopolitical way, right? That's what you learn. So you then know that that's what you're going to learn. You're going to get an exam paper that's going to talk about, Germany through the reparations from World War I and the political movement and the uprising of, nationalist parties and scapegoating and all of that. That's what you're going to learn, and that's going to be on the test. That's a school level. The difference is then to a university level, where you have to decide what you study, what you are going to learn, how you are going to learn it, how you are going to prove it, how you are going to impart this knowledge, which format it's going to take, what elements you're going to study, and how you're going to get that across over the course of a long period of time, as opposed to learning this thing at school for a term. This is the difference, right? Where you are now is school. It's structured. You know what you're doing. There is a way of, Monday you do this, Tuesday you do that, 9 till 12 you do this. When you move, everything is open to you. But that means everything is open to you. So there's a lot less structure, there's a lot less control. And it means that from your perspective, everything is on the table, both the positive and the negative, and that's the options for you. So there's almost like, are you ready to take that jumping off point yet? Are you ready to do that? Put it this way, if you were still studying, are you ready to have a study day? And does your study day involve going to the park with your friends and a skateboard and, hanging out and smoking and drinking, or potentially, or just hanging out, going to the mall and watching a film? Is that your study day? Or on a study day, do you actually go to the library, go to like the central library in town, go and get books out you haven't got access to at school, go and ask, you know, ask people that were around, ask people. That's the difference. Does that make sense? And that's kind of the difference in this job role. You've got one which is really controlled and really understanding, and one that is everything is on the table. Hopefully, my darling, that makes sense. If you don't take it, will your career be okay? It's entirely up to you. It is entirely up to you. It depends on what your goals are right now. It depends what's important to you. That's all I can say, is it depends what's important to you. These are 4 cards. Yes, they're 4 important cards. Yes, they are 4 major arcana cards, but it's only a 4-card reading. I can't go into it in much more detail than that, my darling, to be brutally honest. It's one of those things where, again, you make your own decisions. If you think you are able to handle that freeform, you know, study day, then go for it. Make the change, see what happens. And if you do that, be bloody mindful of temptations. That's all I will say. Be really careful of temptations. You make all your own decisions. If you think you can handle those temptations, go for it. If you think that that's something where having too much choice could be a negative thing and could lead to procrastination, oh, you don't have deadlines at work now, so you don't have to get your work in on the same day. A bit like, you know, when everybody went working from home during the pandemic days, you then had to structure your work day. If you were still able to do the 9 till 12, I'm doing this, 12 to 1 is lunch, and after, if you were still able to do that, great. If, however, you were like, well, I could take lunch half an hour early, I might take a little bit extra time, I just pop into town and go and do this, this, and this, that's the difference. Okay, so yeah, that's the options, that's the choice, and that is your reading, my darling. I hope it helps. Thank you very much for your question. I am going to move on now because that was a much longer reading than I was anticipating, but yes, thank you very much for your question. Right, Enraj, are you here, my darling? You've got a very simple question. Yours is going to be a single card pull. Your question, Enraj: will I be successful in my exams? Nope, hang on. Where is it? Yep, there we go. So then I'm going to do your timestamp. This is going to be a much simpler reading. Probably. Let's have a look. I know, right? I say that. We're going to end up with 17 cards on the table, 14 crystals, and a 15 runes. Let's go for it. This is your timestamp. Enraj, let's have a look. Sorry, everyone, I'm having to write these down as I go. Let's bring that back into play. There we are. There we go. Right then. So, Enraj, dragons. Enraj would like to know, this deck is so intense. I might have to delay using this on a very busy stream, because otherwise, wow, this is a lot to deal with. Right, Enraj, let's have a look. Will Enraj be successful in their exams, dragons? That's what we want to know. Very simple question. Have we got success in exams? No card is flipped. So we're going to do your cut. I'm going to see whether we're going to go for a single cut. Oh, look, it's very determined. Look at that. It's very determined. That cut, I didn't think it was going to go there. That's impressive. Right. Here we go. So your card is, what have we got? The 4 of Blades. Right. Okay. Obstacles, challenges. The 4 of Swords as an exam. Right. Okay. It's going to be a full pull. It's going to be a full pull. That isn't enough. So that goes there, that goes here. Oh, maybe. And that goes here. Wow. Okay. Okay. We've got cups. So then, Enraj, it was going to be a single card. Now it's going to be a full card reading. So we've got the 4 of Blades coming up in your past position. This is talking about challenges. This is talking about things. I think studying for you was really, really difficult. I think there was a lot of things where you were pulled in various again, maybe various directions in terms of your studying, and it was kind of almost done on the fly. Does that make sense? Because we've got this feeling here. It feels like there were lots of challenges of direction. Like, were you committed in the run up to this? Was there, you know, a little bit of a wibbly time for you? We've got the ace coming up in the present, which is all about new beginnings in terms of your emotions. So I think This is like showing you a brand new open opportunity right now. So I think this is a positive. It feels very much like your mindset has shifted, and now you're feeling a lot happier about where you are headed career-wise. And so for exams, I think you struggled during the exam. The exams haven't happened yet. Have you had the exams yet? Have you had the exams yet? Because it almost feels like you're in a better place, but it doesn't feel like all hope isn't lost yet. So if there's still time, if the studying hasn't happened yet, you've still got time. Like this isn't. I don't think your exams have happened yet. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like this is done yet. Where are we? We're in April. I don't think you've had your exams yet. I don't, Enraj. We've got the future card. We've got the Knight of Cups, right? So again, Knight is talking about that rebellious energy, that teenage energy. But this is talking about it being reversed. So this is talking about you buckling down. Why have you gone from this? I don't think you've had your exams. Right. I don't think you've had your exams. You're asking, will I be successful in my exams? Right. Oh, you can't see my cursor on screen is circling your question just there. Right. Just there. I don't think you've had your, I don't think you have had your exams yet. Right. My gut instinct is saying that, a bit like what I was just talking about in terms of free study. I think you've messed around a little bit in the run up to your exams. You've maybe not studied as much as you wanted to. Maybe there were other things like going on that were a little bit out of your control. And these exams kind of, they took your attention away from it a bit, because almost like with this Four of Blades, it's talking about kind of like the person's literally living in a tent, you know what I mean? So there's things here that you haven't been able to do. So like, it wasn't your fault you were distracted, but you had like real life stuff to deal with. Then now in the present, it feels like you've changed that position. Your head and your heart are now working together because we've got the Ace of Cups. But also look, this is literally a winner's trophy. This is a cup. So it feels like your head is now back in the game. You're able to study, you're able to move on. Procrastination is over. Now you're like, shit, I've got no time. Let's knuckle down. Let's hit the books. Let's hit the computers. I don't know what hitting the books is these days. You know, I don't do studying online. You're hitting the keyboard. You're studying. You're doing the Google stuff, right? So you are now studying. And then this is you in the future, even more turning it around, taking off that night energy, that teenage energy. I think this is you. I think you've still got time for your exams. I think you've still got time. This feels like this is the next couple of months. So this is you knuckling down in the next couple of months. And I think if that happens, I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. There's still time in Raj. This is what this is telling me. Hang on, let me have a look on the comments. Live. What's that mean? Oh, hang on. Absolutely. I buckled up, and well, you were right about computers. It's an online course I have taken. Right, you still got time. You've got time. I think you're going to be fine in your exams as long as you. Right. So what this is saying, right? The Knight of Cups. This is the rebellious teenage energy, right? So this is somebody going, I know I should be off doing this, but actually, instead of working for the man, I'm going to busk in the London Underground, and I'm going to earn my money that way. And oh look, I've met someone else, and we're wearing the same clothes, and oh, this is the same me, and everything. I'm bucking the system. But this is reversed. So this rebellious energy is reversed. So it feels like you're knuckling down now. You're getting on with it. You're going to study. You're going to crack on. And I don't think you've got a problem. Like, I think you're going to be fine for your exams as long as you can keep this up. It feels like you've got a couple of months or so, maybe less than that, maybe 6 weeks, couple of months, about that time. This is the change in attitude. This is where you're headed now. I'm going to pour you one crystal. We're going to just do, how can I get these? How can I get it? So we've only got, let's do it like that. Oops. Right. Carnelian. We've got carnelian on top, health, and we've got balance in the past. Right. So we're not going to do, hang on, have I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So we've got balance in the past, that was lacking, and we've got carnelian. So mental health, positive health, lots of healthy study in the future. That is where we're going. I think you're going to be fine. You've got a month to go. There you go. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. You haven't wasted it yet. Almost, and Raj, almost, right? In all honesty, almost. I think, let me just clip over to the other camera. In all honesty, I think you were close to fucking it up. In all honesty, I really, really do. It not through your own fault, but I think it was getting to the point where if you'd left it any later, it would have been too late. But now you've got this Ace of Cups coming in, I think you'll be fine. The Knight of Cups is really talking about, as much as in the next month, right? This is you realizing, shit, this is what I want, and I want this so much. You want your exams, you want this for the future, right? This is you deciding that this is where you are headed properly, not that you want to go and do things on a whim. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. Oh yeah, no problem. No time to waste. Crack on with it now. You'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine. Carnelian health is only saying, remember your mental health, right? And your physical health. If there's something here, particularly with the tiger's eye coming up in the past as well, if those distractions were physical down to your health, try and keep that as a balance, right? That makes sense. Mods, I think I'm going to use the crystals that way and actually chuck them on top of the cards. I think that makes sense. Let me have a look. Wolf Boyo, the pup's been crazy. Oh, extra treats he's had. Oh, I hope you're doing okay. I really do, Wolf Boy. I hope you're doing okay. No problem, Emraj. Thank you very much. Right, next up, done that one. I've done that one. Queen Bay, you'll be up next. So I'm looking for, we need Queen Bay in the chat. Come and say hello. Jai CW, come and say hello. And Ishika, come and say hello. So Queen Bay, Jai CW and Ishika, I'm calling all three of you. Come and say hello in the live chat. I'm going to do you in turn once I can. We've got half an hour. I'm going to get through as many of you as I can. I'm going to get through these three and then we'll move on with more. So Jai CW, Queen Bay and Ishika. Let me have a look. Right, Queen Bay, you are the first person. You are coming up next. Ishika and Jai CW, if you're here, come and say hello in the live chat. Queen Bay, your question. Does Sarah from FGA have a crush? I have a crush on you. Lovely, lovely question. Jai CW, you're up after this. So then, dragons, here we go. Mods, can somebody do me a favor? Oh, JCW is there as well. Right, can somebody do me a favor, mods? Can you just write down 133 Queen Bay, 133 Queen Bay. You're coming up now, Queen Bay. I'm going to do your timestamp right here. 133 Queen Bay. Speed running now. We are going to speed run. Let's get as many of these done as we possibly can. I have got 9 questions left. This comes down to 8. We're going to try and get through as many as I possibly can. Queen Bay, dragons. Does Sarah from FGA have a crush on Queen Bay? Well, that's what we want to know, dragons. We are speed running till the end of the session. So here we go. Sarah from FGA have a crush on Queen Bay. Dragons, we've got nothing in the chat. I tell you what, hang on a second, everybody. I'm even going to bring this into play. Here we go. Here we go. Right then. Queen Bay, dragons. Here we go. Does Sarah from FGA have a crush on Queen Bay? Let's have a look. No cards dropped. We're doing your cut. Okay, Queen Bay. Let's have a look. Ace of Coins. Does FGA work with you? If so, we've got a new work energy coming into play. We've got the Queen of Wands. Interesting that Queen gets a Queen. This is reverse. So Wands is talking about your self-confidence. There's a certain lack of confidence here. So maybe if Sarah works at FGA. If this is a work relationship, if she's only just started, then possibly there is a lack of confidence involved. And we've got another lack of confidence. We've got the 8 of Wands as well. So what is this telling us? The 8 of Wands is about security. This is a lot more bricks and mortar. Look at this. So does she have a crush on you? There is nothing here saying that she does. I think there is an interest, but I think there is an interest that is being tempered by the by the workplace, by whatever this financial element is. Let me just have a little look-see. So I do think that we've got an element here where it feels more, possibly feels more that she sees you more as a mentor figure, Queen Bey. Does that make sense? Hang on, this is not the music I wanted. It's not looping properly. Let me just, is it this one? Hang on. No, it's not. It's this. It feels like there is a mentor relationship going on. It feels like she's looking up to you, and it feels like that's a very positive thing. So yes, she's looking up to you, and yes, there is this element here of seeing you as somebody who is more confident and more able to deal with life in a positive way. But I get the impression that this isn't romantic and possibly not sexual. It feels slightly more that you might have a little bit of an interest in Sarah, put it that way. Let me just pull you a crystal as well. Here we go. We've got rose quartz coming up in the present for you. I think this is you. I think you fancy Sarah. I think that's what this is. You fancy Sarah. You've got the rose quartz fell on the Queen. I think you fancy Sarah. I think that should be the question, Queen Bey. Do you have a crush on Sarah from FGA? That sounds a lot more interesting. So yes, there we go, my darling. I hope that helps. Not in a romantic way is the answer. I know it's probably not what you're wanting to hear, but there you go, my darling. Not in a romantic way, but there is definitely a connection there in terms of a mentor type role. I think she looks up to you, and I think she sees you as somebody that she would like in her circle. It doesn't mean that that can't move on. That cannot move on in a different way. Does that make sense? I think it moves on in a different way. Right then, here we go. Thank you very much for your question, Queen Bey. Next up was, who did I say was next up? Hang on, let me go back to the chat. Who came up first? Was it Ishika or was it? Hang on. It was JCW. Ishika, you are on a red alert, my darling. Second time. Ishika, come and say hello. You've got 20 seconds in the live. JCW, you are up next. Your question is... your question is, JCW, you reached out to someone for the first time. I've liked for a very long time. I would like to know how he feels about me. JCW, okie dokie, this is your reading. Can somebody just hit the timestamp at 1:39? 1:39, JCW. This is the timestamp.
Are you
1:39, JCW. Let me have a look then. So you reached out to someone for the first time, Dragons. JCW reached out for someone that they liked for a very long time. JCW would like to know how he feels about them. Let's have a look. No card jumped. I like it when Wispy doesn't make the cards jump. It means we get into a little bit more of a quicker reading. Here we go. So past, present. Oh, everything's reversed. Wow. Right. So we've got the Page of Blades. So we've got young energy coming up in the past. So this is very naive. So I think how you've met, I think there's been a lot of very innocent kind of almost naive energy that's gone on between you. Does that make sense, JCW? It feels like there's been this element of kind of not, how can I put it? Not childish, but very innocent. But it's kind of been a little bit downplayed because we've got this obstacle coming up. So it feels almost like there's been a little bit of playgroundness. Does that make sense? Like it feels like there's been, come on brain, right? The page is talking about, right? Look at the card, right? This is somebody doing all this investigation. This child, this is that childish energy, that childlike energy, I should say. Now the pages is very innocent to me. It's very naive, but this is a challenge that's come up. So it feels like if this is talking about a relationship, then it feels like you've liked them possibly for quite a while, but in a very innocent, childlike way, not in the kind of way where it's like, oh, I like you, let's go, you know, let's get jiggy. It's not about that. It's not even kind of in a heavily romantic way. You know what I mean? It's not even that. It feels like we've got this energy which has been, it's playground, right? So this is what I'm saying about this. It's like, it's, you know, when you're a kid and you're saying, oh, that's my girlfriend, it's like all in name only rather than it being something that you are physically or emotionally connecting to. In the present, we've got the Two of Blades. Now this is about a couple, this is about a connection, but this is reversed. So I think that there is a blockage here. This blockage is, I think the two of you have been at loggerheads. So it may well be that you've liked them for a long time. And I think that they know, I think he knows you. He knows that you've possibly liked each other, but I think you're friend zoned. That's what this is saying. I think you are friend zoned. It really does feel like you're friend zoned here. Look, we've got this final notice going on with these letters. These are the bills. This is somebody ignoring all of these problems. I think you are absolutely friend zoned, because here, look again, we've got the Knight of Cups has come back up reversed. So I think this is really saying that like this rebellious teenage energy, there is something about the energy that you two have, this connection that you two have, that feels very disconnected. Does that make sense? So I don't think that this is going to be a big romance. It feels like it's a friendship that at this moment you're not in that same place. Put it that way. You're not in that same place at the moment. It feels like you could be in the future, but not in the foreseeable future, my darling. Not in the foreseeable. It feels like this is absolutely friend zoned, and it feels like here, it feels like the minute that you opened your mouth about having feelings for them, that they kind of shut that down. Does that make sense? It feels like they were like, nope, not ready to deal with that shit, not ready to deal with, rather than not wanting. Does that make sense? Do you see the difference? It feels like there is a connection here, and it's a connection that's been going on for a long time. It wouldn't surprise me if you were at school or something together, but this connection is very friend zoned right now, and it feels very much like they cannot deal with it. He cannot deal with that change in circumstances because of his life. He hasn't got that space right now. Right, one single. Oh, right, look. This is the important one. Look, we've got Tiger's Eye on top of a citrine. So this is talking about, citrine for me is money. So this is a work connection somehow, and we've got balance. So this is talking about keeping your boundaries in place, right? This is not the time to unfriend zone them, right? This absolutely, this person needs to be friend zoned, or you need to be friend zoned at the moment, right? Does that make sense? That boundary is really important for whatever reason. I've moved the bloody camera now, look. That boundary is really important for him at the moment. Not so much you, but I think that boundary is how you're going to be able to move forward, by kind of putting it back in place, pretending that you never said anything, and being able to move on in that way. Does that make sense, my dad? Excuse me, my darling. I really hope that it does. I really, really do. Hang on, let's click over to the live. What have you put in there? Oh, look, here what to say. Yes, it makes absolute sense. And it relates. Fabulous. Thank you very much, JCW. Don't forget, everybody, you can go across and QJump. I wouldn't say QJump now because I've got 15 minutes left. But if you want to book a private reading, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/beyond authentic. That's where our channel memberships are as well. Right then, Ishika. Oh, no, hang on. Who was next up? Ishika, you get one of these. So Ishika, unfortunately, you're no, that's what I'm trying to do. Ishika, we've called you 3 times. So Sharon Lopez and Sharon Ann Lopez, and I've done that one. Who have I not got to? Pooja Gupta. Sharon Ann Lopez and Pooja Gupta, if you are here, come and say hello on the live. Sharon Ann Lopez and Pooja Gupta. Sherry, you'll be here. You'll be the 3rd one. So, no problem at all. JCW, thank you for hanging around. Sharon Ann Lopez, this is your 2nd call out. Sharon Ann Lopez, you were on a red alert. Sorry, not Yajni Nepal. Pooja Gupta, you're under the red alert as well. Sharon Ann Lopez, if you are here, you've got 10 seconds. Pooja Gupta, you've got slightly more. Oh no, Sharon Ann Lopez, you get one of these as well, my darling. You get one of these. So then, why have I got that? That's a different button. I haven't had that button before. Pooja Gupta, nope, you get one of these as well. So that's another one. Bang to the dust. Dum. Sherry Owl, I've got your question up next. After this, Shivani Radhakrishnan, are you still here? And then Yajni, Sherry, Shivani, and Yajni. Come and say hello in the live stream. Sherry, you're there. Yajni Nepal, if you are here, I will try and get to you as well. Mods, can one of you write down for me 148? Sherry Owl, thank you very much. If you can send me that on the doodle in a second, thank you very much. Sherry Owl at 148. Let me hit the magic button. Okie dokie. Sherry Owl, then I've got Shavni, then Yajni. So Sherry Owl, your question. Can I please have a general, can I have a question for April? Do you mean a general reading, Sherry? Do you mean a general reading for April? Let's have a look. Oh, gosh. Dragons. I don't like doing speed runs, but it's the only way to get everybody in. Dragons, we are speed running the dragons. Sherry Owl would like, I believe, a general reading for April. Fantastic. Yes, you can, Nanette. Yes, you can. Oops, gosh, come on. Yes, you can, Nanette. Sherry Owl, dragons, a general reading for... These cards are so big. I might have to... I don't like trimming them. I don't want to trim them, but they are very large. I'll tell you what. Let's see. I wonder if I can still do... Oh, I can. There we go. Oh, a little bit unwieldy, but that's fine. Shuffling them the other way. There we are, dragons. Nothing's clipped. Nothing's jumped. Thank you, Wispy, for keeping things simple. Oh, that's the very definitive. You know what I'm trying to say. Right then, past, present, and future. This is such an intense deck. I wasn't prepared for this. The Page of Wands, the 10 of Wands. Oh, that could be a shuffling error. Why is everything coming up reversed? Okay, right. So April's going to be sticky. We've got the Page of Wands, so youthful energy. We've got something happening in terms of your confidence. I think you're overconfident. No, right, hang on. Let me backtrack that, Sherry. This is talking about the energy that it's come up in the last few weeks, right? I think there's been a bit of overconfidence, a little bit of feeling a little bolder maybe than you actually are normally, and maybe that's getting you drawn in to do things or to test your limits a little bit in a way that you wouldn't normally do. But not necessarily that's been a bad thing. It's just been risky. It's been risky, put it that way. Then we've got the 10 of Wands coming up, and I think, yeah, this confidence, you've taken on too much, because look what you've got. Hang on, there you go. I've got to hold it that way up. Look what's happening. So you're confident and you're able to handle things, but you've taken on too much, my darling. You're trying to work too hard, like work all the hours that God sends. You are trying too hard to keep everything like ticking. Does that make sense? It's like you've got too much on your plate right now. You turn around, you've got something to do, and then you've got something else to do, and then you've got this to do, and then, oh, that task hasn't happened. Your phone's ringing. There's emails that you need to do. Deadlines are coming, and you're not looking after yourself because you were overconfident going into this. Whatever's happened the last month, there's been this real sort of shift, and it feels almost like you said, oh yeah, I'll do that, I can do that, I can help, I can do this, I can do that, and you've taken on so many tasks that now you're left in the middle kind of going, ooh, bollocks, that's a lot to do. And then in the months, the weeks to come, this is running up until the end of April, right? So this isn't a long time, but we've got this 7 of Swords, the 7 of Blades. Now in this deck, you can see quite clearly this person is nicking. They are broken in. There's stuff being taken, right? This is talking. Do you remember in the standard 7 of Swords where you see somebody that is carrying 5 of them and there were 2 on the floor? That's what this is talking about. So this is talking about having things taken from you, and especially with this being reversed in the future, this is really, really, really talking about, like, this is somebody that is, or a situation where you are going to lose out on things because your eyes off the ball. Does that make sense? Because you're distracted at the moment, you are going to lose. There's things that are going to get taken from you. So this is a real warning. This hasn't happened yet, right? So you can still turn this around. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get stuff nicked from you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have stuff that is taken away. But what it does mean is that you need to be a little bit more aware of it. Does that make sense, my darling? So at the moment, you're being too distracted by daily tasks to kind of keep your eye on what's important here. I think by the end of April, I think if you can turn this around, if you can calm this, I think that this potentially isn't going to happen. This bit of you kind of having to deal with stuff that is going missing, stuff that other people are taking, again, is similar to this. This overconfidence got you into this, and it almost feels like other people are going to be taking advantage. Right, let me do you a quick. We're going to do it very quick. Right, we want the present stones. Oh, yeah, health-wise. This is health-wise. I'm loving this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where's the other one? Oh, it's there. It's gone all the way under there. Yeah, so health in the future is going to be your health that is going to get it's going to be your no, hang on, that wasn't health, that was yes, it was carnelian. Yeah, your health is going to be done, right? Does that make sense? Your health is going to be triggered a little bit. So just bear that in mind, my darling. Bear that in mind with what is to come. I do think that you need to just look after your health, because otherwise it feels like people are going to be taking the mick and going to be taking your energy in a way that is going to be too difficult for you to overcome. Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. Right, we had Shivani and then Yajni. So Shivani, your question is, when will I meet my future spouse? Okay, hopefully that helps, Sherry. I hope it does. Shivani, we're speed running. Dragons, mods, can you put 1 minute 55? Shivani, 1 minute 55. Shivani, thank you. I am hitting your timestamp now. Dragon. Dragons, Shivani is wanting to know when will they meet their future spouse. So bear in mind, Shivani, we can only see in the next few weeks normally on a 3 card. So Dragons, we're going to modify it. Is Shivani going to meet their spouse, their future lover, their husband, wife, partner to be? Are they going to meet that person this month? That's what we want to know. Is it going to be this month? Is this month, this next 4-week period between the end of the first week in April and the end of the first week in May, is this when Shivani meets their future spouse? Is this when Shivani meets their future spouse? Let's have a look. Right, and we can do this with, oh, where did that go? Hang on, I've got it, and it is, oh, it's a blades. Again, the 4 of blades. So that's a no. That's an absolute no. Not this month. Not this month. Not this month. So yeah, no, I don't think it is. I was convinced. Let me just check. Was that the only card? Yes, it was. That was the only card that fell. Right. Okay. So Shivani, it doesn't feel like you've got a future spouse coming up in in April. So the 4s, as you can see, look, this person is in a tent, possibly homeless, possibly camping, but it's dealing with obstacles and challenges. The challenges here is talking about nature. Now, this can be a really positive thing about getting you back into nature, but it's come up reversed as well. So the blades is a challenge. It's an obstacle. And I think that the obstacle, this is really talking about, like, how can I put it? I think this month, you've got too much going on in your own surroundings. Does that make sense? There's too much going on in your own life, in your own circle, your space, your home life, right? I don't think you've got the mental or emotional energy right now in order to, even if you met your future spouse tomorrow, I don't think you'd recognize it because there's too much going on at home. I think you've got to maybe work through this month, work through some home issues, whatever this means for you. Well, I know it's resonating, but I can't pick up on what the home thing is, whether this is like issues with family, issues with friends, or physical, like your bricks and mortar. It could be down to like your actual house. I think there's some physical things you need to deal with this month. This isn't the month for worrying about your spouse. Does that make sense? Like, let that take care of itself over here in the future. Like, over here I was pointing to, let that take care of itself later on, right? Because for right now, you've got to deal with this first. This month is all going to be about you sorting your home and your physical home life out, right? So if there's bills to pay, that's what you got to sort out. If there's a leaking roof, that's what you got to sort out. If it's your garden's a mess, that's what you got to sort out. That's what you've got to do this month. Worry about the future spouse on another occasion. Hopefully that helps, Shivani. Sorry for speed running, but hopefully that helps. They're very what's the word? They're very sure. Like, this is a very definitive, that's the word. Definitive. This is a very definitive answer, my darling. So it doesn't feel like this month is the time for romance in any way, shape, or form. It's all about you getting on with sorting your bricks and mortar out. Hopefully that helps. Right then, so what have we got? Yajni, I've got your question in. So mods, can you put 1 minute 59 on the timestamp for Yajni, please? 1 minute 59 for Yajni Nepal. Yajni, this is going to be your timestamp. This is today's last and final. Right, dragons. Yajni Nepal is wanting to know. Oh gosh, is wanting to know. Hello, dear. Happy Easter to you. Ricky is a new person. I am unable to catch his emotions and wanted to know, will he initiate for a stable and committed relationship with me? So Yajni, dragons, basically, Yajni is asking about Ricky. Is Ricky going to be? Is Ricky going to be committing to a committed, long-term, stable relationship, even though they've only just met? That's what we're wanting to know, dragons. Yajni is wanting to know. Ricky is a new person, but Yajni isn't quite able to tell if Ricky's the one, if Ricky is going to be committed in terms of a long-term, dragons, a long-term relationship. I need one card, Wispy, not three. I know you're trying to help by flipping three at the same time, but it just confuses things. Right, is that what you're trying to pull? You're trying to pull this one. Right. Hang on, so it would have been this way. So we've got the Page of Cups. No, youthful energy, innocent energy. It's too soon to say. The page is talking about very young energy. Look at this childishness. Look at this childlike stuff. Cups is the emotional suit, so it could well be that something leads that way, Yajni, but it's far too soon to say. Right, 3 cards, dragons. Drop and 3 cards. Oh, it's not going where I thought. Okay. I was convinced. Right then, here we go. Large reading tonight. The large reading. Yes, last reading tonight. So, Ace of Blades. Oh gosh, more blades. Wow, swords. Lots of trouble and strife. No. 100% no. 100% no, Yajni. So this is your modifying card, okay? It's the Page of Cups. It's talking about cups is your emotions. Pages is very young, naive, innocent energy. I don't think that Ricky is able right now to go into that. Then we had the past position. We've got the Ace of Blades, so a new energy coming up in your recent past, okay? So this is you meeting with Ricky, but it's blades. There's obstacles and challenges involved here as you go along. So although this is a new connection, it's one that is going to be full of new challenges. As if that wasn't proof enough, the next card was the 4 of Blades, right? So the 4 of Swords. Again, home life. There is still stuff to deal with your home life that you are not, or possibly with Ricky's home life, because you're asking about him. So I think this is actually more to do with Ricky's emotions. I think there's a lot of upheaval going on in Ricky's life. I think there's a lot of it's a very volatile situation and things are changing at the moment. It feels like all of the obstacles are coming from Ricky's energy. He said about catching his emotions, his energy, his stability, his committed. I don't think he's able to do that right now. There's too much going on for him. And then in the then we had in his future, we've also got the 8 of Blades. And again, this is look, wouldn't surprise me if Ricky didn't already have some sort of family connection, possibly kids, possibly a life already sorted. Does that make sense? Because here we've got a home life question, and here we've got family. Is this a wife and child? There you go. Look, is this a wife and child that is having to deal with? Is this like too much being hemmed into a tight space? There's animals, there's all sorts going on. This is obstacles. So there is whatever is happening, whatever the connection is, it feels almost like, do you know what? If Ricky had a secret family and was trying to have an affair on the side, that would be the cards that I would expect for this. Does that make sense? I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying this would be true to that sort of reading, especially when you get this youthful, innocent, kind of naive energy coming on top, almost saying he wants to have his cake and eat it. He wants to have the family connection at home, even though there's a lot of upheaval going on there. He wants this at home and this on the side. Does that make sense, my darling? Look at these children playing. Are they sharing? They're sharing. They're sharing all of their stuff. They're sharing. Do you want to be the one that's shared? Do you want to share Ricky with another family, another life, even though that other life is going to be full of obstacles, challenges? And he may well say, oh, well, my wife doesn't understand me. I'm getting a divorce. We're separated. Do you want to put yourself in that situation? I don't think so. So yeah, whatever's going on, no is the question. You want to know, really initiate for a stable relationship. He might initiate, he might try, he might absolutely try and tell you a load of blarney about, the wife and family, and but no, that's what's going on under the surface. Do not take the risk, my darling. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man, as the gingerbread man says. So yes, hopefully that makes sense, Yajni. Well, there you go, everybody. We got through everybody that was on the list that was still here when we called them. Thank you very much. Where's my camera settings? Hang on, I'm on the wrong camera. Hello. No, you still can't see me. Hang on, that one. There we go. Move that one out the way. So thank you everybody for joining. There we go. Thank you for joining. Wow. Oh, we speed run. We speed ran at the end, didn't we? We speed ran at the end. I might try doing that again. You know, I actually think I quite like how that works. Doing a speed run. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. If you're watching this on live, let me know what do you think about trying to do a speed run when we've got so many backed up. But there we are today, everybody. That is the session for today. It's 9:05. Sorry, mods, but amazing. Thank you all for being here. Oh gosh, look on the live. Everybody's here on the live. This guy is a block in terms of emotions, so you're confused right now. So there are days you're like, okay, great, he likes me, and other days you're like, no, he has no emotions, possibly hiding a family. You're open to these ideas since you don't know much about him. I'm not saying there is a family, but it definitely feels like there is a lot there. It won't be it's definitely something under the surface. Absolutely no problem, Yajni, my darling, no problem. I hope that helps. Smriti Mondal, unfortunately, Smriti, we're done. Everybody that's asking in the chat, Aish Kumar, unfortunately we are done. We're out of time now. We'll be back on Tuesday evening. Yajni, basically it's a new system that the government are doing to warn people of floods and other imminent danger lines. Oh yeah, I haven't had that test alert yet. I haven't had that test alert yet. I'm just catching up on the. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you. Yes, I saw. We're done. We're done. We're done. Thank you, everybody. Don't worry. I'll go back on the doodahs. Thank you, everybody. Oh, hang on. Did we have people come in after they were called? Hang on. Oh, we did. Sharon, Pooja. Oh, I called you all. We called you. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. We called you 3 times. We had the red alert going and everything. Yeah, sorry if we missed you, but I called you. I called people 3 times and then you got the no, Nanette, the answer is it's entirely up to you. All I know, in all honesty, where's the case for this? Oh, it's the big one. All I know, Nanette, in all honesty, is there was a very I don't know whether he was drunk, but it felt like belligerent energy. And that's not for me to say if you want that person in your life or not, right? I've hung around with people who take the piss because that's just how they are. And I've had friends who do that and they're absolutely fine 99.9% of the time. As a stranger to the stream, it felt a little bit awkward. And I felt that I wanted to defend you. But in all honesty, if he's your friend and if that's how your relationship is and you take the piss out of each other, then fantastic, go for it. Don't ever cut someone out of your life because someone else says so. If you know that person to be a friend and that they don't mean to come across as a little bit shady, then that's fine. But only you know that, my darling. Only you can answer that. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody. Come back and join us on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. Starting tomorrow, I will be having a card of the day, single card of the day. Affirmation cards will be coming up on the channel. They start tomorrow. I don't know what time. Probably around, morning time here in the UK. So keep an eye out. And yes, I will be back at 10 a.m. UK time. Ariona, I haven't got a question in for you, my darling, and we are 10 minutes over time now, my darling. But yes, thank you so much, everybody. Hopefully, you've all enjoyed tonight's stream. We're going to be back we're going to be back on Tuesday, and next week we'll be doing more of the same. So I will see you all very soon. And as we always say on this channel, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Lisa. a practicing liminal witch and tarot reader with over 28 years experience in helping people find guidance through the cards. On this channel I talk about all sorts of witchy, spooky and mystical things that interest me and I hope will interest you too. Welcome to Beyond Authentic Witchcraft.